We gonna start it right now.
They do.
All right. Welcome back to PoPolitickin.com, your home for self-help meets hip-hop. Make sure you check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. We're there. 1, 2, I'm in the place to be with Alpha23. How you doing, bro?
Let's go. Yes, sir. What's going on, sir?
I'm fantastic, man. So you from Atlanta?
Yeah, I was originally born in New York, but grew up in Atlanta, so this is home. Been here forever, so yeah.
So how long you been in Atlanta?
Man, I went to basically high school here.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what zone you from?
They have them?
What zone you from? Like I know they got
I've literally been on every part of the campus. So I touched down in College Park, South Side. I'm gonna slowly bring this mash down. I started off College Park, went to North Clayton Junior High. Then I left there, went to I guess I would say Marietta is where I ended up next. And then left there, went to Georgia State and ended up staying in the city for a minute. Left there, went and stayed on the east side for a second. Actually, no, before the east side, I went to the north side. So I was kind of like Pleasantdale up in that region. Left there, then I went to Decatur, had a house out there. Left Decatur and then moved out to the kind of Marietta, Smyrna area. So when I say, and it's kind of like equal time in each area. So I can't really say, but I'm gonna tell you, if I had to pick one area of the city I love the most, I'd definitely say the South Side.
So who influenced you most far as just the Atlanta sound?
Influenced me as much as Atlanta what?
Like what, like far as like say
the Atlanta sound?
Atlanta artists, yeah. Who
man, bro, that's a good question. Okay, so my Atlanta all-star list got Outkast on it, Gucci definitely. I got a song right now that remind me of the old school Gucci, the pills back then. It's that track the dude gave me, and I just was like, oh yeah. And the funny thing is, I had actually written the bars to the song before I got the beat, and I was looking for the beat. It's rare that I actually go looking for a beat. A lot of times I get the beat and write to that, but this time I wrote with the beat in mind and found the beat. But Gucci's heavily influenced my music just because I think the realness of his content, right? And it's not that I write what he writes or how he writes, but what I try to capture is just the fact that he don't care. Like he puts his all in the music. And so Gucci's definitely one of those guys that been there. Jeezy was really the voice of the streets for a hot minute, right? And if you came up in that era when Jeezy was running the show, which for me, that was like, for real, like that era, then definitely he's somebody that was very influential. And again, like Gucci, it's not necessarily his sound or his lyrics but it was more so what he represented, you know what I mean? And in a lot of ways, those dudes kind of, I wouldn't say they glorified the streets, but they talked about it in such a way as to where people like me could see eye to eye with what they were saying.
Yeah, I don't know how old you are, but I'm gonna take you back to, I just started listening to them and they the ones that influenced those people. But I just started listening to Kilo.
See, now I'll say this. I actually know somebody who knows Kilo, but as far as his music, I wasn't into it. Yeah.
You remember all that So Def bass all-star shit?
I'm talking about, I was at the very, like, that was when I first started rocking with the sound, you know what I mean? Like Southern hip hop. So I know of those guys, and to say that it was something I listened to personally, nah, that was kind of before my listening time. It was more so
like
that way back.
Yeah,
but I've heard their music.
Yeah, but I'm saying go back and listen to it now, man. You're gonna be surprised. That shit kind of.
I would say one song, because they play it. I mean, you hear the songs on like radio. I don't listen to the radio as much, and I think that's what disconnected me from some of that stuff. I'll say this. Kilo had one song that was hot. It was really big, and they still play it to this day. Was it Cocaine?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, now that song, that's one song he had that I know that really lasted through time. For me personally, when I listened to a lot of the music before, say Outkast, it was heavy bass music. Like when I hear it now, it just kind of sounds dated.
Yeah, but I'm saying so. So how did you get involved with hip hop, man? Give us your earliest memories of hip hop.
The earliest memory I have of hip hop was actually hearing the record, The Show, I think it was. And it was a older family member, like uncle. Yeah, exactly, man. And I just was like, just taken aback by the creativity, the beatboxing and all of that. And so that was my first memory. And then, you know, how time passes and all this and what have you. But really what influenced me to get into music was twofold. One, on the business side, and then on the other side, because I've always loved marketing and promotion. And so a lot of what I did was working with hip hop artists. But then on the other side, it was just the love of writing. And so I had this thing where even when I was in school, the people that I knew who were on were famous. And I actually had an opportunity to kind of work with a label, a major label at the time, a couple of times actually, once through promotions and then another time directly. And so I had a window into the industry. And I think the biggest thing for me was I really didn't like how the game worked. And me being an entrepreneur, I felt like the business was not set up to support the artist. And so that's what made me stay doing the art of music, writing and things like that, but never really focus on me, myself as an artist. And so what I did was I started working with other artists and I did promotions and actually management and helped them further their career. You see what I'm saying? And then after a while of doing that, the industry started to shift. And a lot of artists that I was working with were more focused on record deals than they were focused on independence. I wouldn't say they weren't focused on independence, but I think a lot of artists were more so still focused on the record deal. And so that's what made me say, well, this is a good opportunity for me to just use the platforms that exist to release music, DistroKid, TuneCore, CD Baby, you name it, Empire, whatever, and put out music, you know? And it was just kind of a fluke occurrence where I ended up working with a producer who was working with major artists as well as his own artists. And we started just working together on, you know, on tracks. And it kind of all went from there.
I'm saying, who were some of the artists you managed back in, you managed?
So you familiar with Jaron Benton?
Yeah,
okay.
Is it a girl?
No, it's a dude. He's pretty popular in the underground scene in Atlanta and all over. He's touring. He's actually pretty big when you consider underground artists. But he has a dude he's run with for many years, doing him, Els Jenkins. That's one of the artists I work with. The dude I was talking about, well, I'm not gonna say his name because me and dude fell out, but he had some artists that he worked with, and he was producing for major artists. He did some work with Dave East. I was in the studio with him. He was working with the one chick from Love and Hip Hop, who's a manager. I can't remember her name right now. But she had a couple of artists that she was bringing through the studio. He was working with them. But like I said, me and dude fell out, so fuck that nigga.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then we was kind of talking about it earlier. I was telling you, yeah, you popped up on my Spotify list earlier. I couldn't find the song. You know, they make daily for you.
Yeah, I got so much music out there right now. It's just crazy. Like I just dropped. I would have had more songs, but that same fuck nigga I was talking about did some bullshit. So I had to fall back from that for a minute while I work with my lawyer. But I put out a lot of music this year so far. Like I've been on a roll. Like I've been going ham and put out a couple of bangers here recently that's doing some numbers.
Yeah,
so probably it might have been one of them.
And I actually like you sound really good. Like sound like you should have always kind of been an artist instead of being a manager.
You know, the funny thing is, you say something funny, right? Like, and this is real shit. Like, you know, I fuck with Ellis, that's my brother. Like, but we would go to shows, and I remember it was really we went to 2 Chainz, one of his release parties, and I think it was a pre-bay. And I'm up in there chilling. It's, you know how like the release parties are typically in the evening. It's really not like a super nighttime thing. So it should start at like 6 o'clock. Yeah. And I was coming in there from really not even haven't had the chance to change. I still kind of had on like some work gear, but I remember a couple of people walked up to me and it was like, yo, so shit, you know, you write when you in the studio? I'm like, and I was with Els. I'm like, nah, I'm the manager. That's the artist right there. It's just kind of funny. I've always had that kind of, I don't know if I want to say demeanor, but a lot of people kind of do that, like approach me from the standpoint of being an artist. And I guess to a certain extent, I view everything through the lens of an artist. So.
And then what does Alpha23 mean?
Alpha23, that's so, you know what I'm saying? Like it means a lot of different things, man. It's first and foremost, it's less of a name than a title than it is just like a movement. But Alpha23, first of all, is a 2-3 is very important to me for a lot of different reasons. One, of course, MJ and the greatness that represents. Like, I feel like from a creativity perspective, I've always liked the combination of alphanumerics. And so I felt right to have a name that included both. Alpha was really less of a reflection on the whole alpha male thing than just the beginning, because I like the Alpha and Omega in the Bible, beginning and the end. Mm-hmm. So Alpha means the beginning. And so the Alpha is the beginning. And then of course, in sequence, you have 2 and 3. So it flows from that perspective, which also equals I'm not gonna get into the numerology, but it's very powerful from that perspective. And then on the other side, it was for me Psalm 23, which is very powerful.
That's
right?
the Lord's Prayer, right?
The Lord, well, it's not the Lord's Prayer. It's not the Lord's Prayer, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's actually David when he was dealing with Saul. And so from the standpoint of that, it also represents that. So it means a lot of other things to me too, but yeah, so Alpha23 is very special. The funny thing is I had been writing, putting out music and had a record about to drop, and still didn't have my name together.
What happened?
I said I had music I was about to drop and still hadn't really figured out what my stage name was going to be. If you want to call it a stage name, and it's just like it seemed to come to me in a dream. Because I had gone when I was writing this shit, I told you that I was not really looking at it from the standpoint of an artist. I was just writing, going to the studio and doing music for the love of it. You feel me? Like, I was like, I'm gonna put music out because I want to and because I can. I got the money to push my shit. But I wasn't really looking at it from the standpoint of trying to be on, you know what I mean? Like, it was more like, fuck it.
So how would you describe your sound?
Dynamic as fuck. Like, my shit is dynamic. There's nothing I can't do with them, like with lyrics and a pen, like writing. I was gonna say there's nothing I can do with a mic, but that sounds real weird. Pause. Like, so like only fans the made, you gotta be careful what you say. Like, but like now I can really do a lot lyrically. And so when it comes to sound, I have to be careful to not allow my appreciation for different beats to drive my sound too much, right? Because you can listen to a New York beat that's heavy, heavy New York. Even think like those boys from Buffalo, Conway and them, and that's a certain very, very old school New York sound. I can write to that. But then you can hand me some shit that Lil Baby will rap over, which is more melodic, more southern, more chill. I can write to that too. And what you might end up with is two distinctly different sounds of artists. And another artist that kind of has done that a lot is people kind of had knocked Tory Lanez a bit for that because he's so dynamic and his ability to sing, right? And so for me, I had to really start to hone it down. So the best way to describe my sound is if you listen to certain songs that are out now, all of my music has the same kind of threads through it, ad-lib certain things I say. But I would say that when you start to listen to songs that I've been putting out most recently, those are ones that I'm kind of starting to drift towards from a sound perspective, which is a heavy combination of rapping and singing.
How would you describe yourself as a person?
Focus, man. Listen, real talk, like, if I'm being honest, then I'm an amazing guy. I'm a superhero. Like, for real. I'm something special.
Why you say you're a superhero?
Oh, I am. I got superpowers. That's different. I got superpowers, legit superpowers.
What's your superpowers?
I can see the future. That's one. I'm extremely. I have a super high IQ. Like, for real, I measured my IQ recently. I have 139 IQ, which is not super high. That's 1 point below genius. But I can see patterns. Like, I can see patterns, legit see patterns in ways that other people can't. It's crazy. Like, you can't get over on me because I just see patterns and shit. Like, it's weird. Like, somebody fucked around and told me how people lie and like how you can read people's expressions. Like, if they look to the left, look to the right, shit like that. There's like 21 ways a woman lies, 17 ways a man lies. I can read them shits now because I see patterns. And so when a motherfucker's lying, I just be like, yeah, because you can't hide it. You feel me? I'm like a human lie detector. So I'm like, it's illmatic. Like, I got superpowers, bro.
I'm saying, you know, I had 2 superheroes on my show, so you the third.
That's fucking crazy. We need to form a team and go out and fuck up some shit. Like, I'll be the one to put together the plan.
It was a dude named his name Danger Man. Then the other dude was named like he like Batman, but his name is with an 8. But he's from New York. You might, I don't know if you where you
I might know.
You're in Atlanta.
So P-Game, I'm working with this artist. I got this artist a commission. No bullshit. Like, I told you I got money, man. I got this dude commissioned to make this fucking art piece for me, bro. It's gonna be my alter ego is Ronin Kenshi. And so that motherfucker is gonna be the superhero. Like, for real. That's gonna be the embodiment of my superhero persona is Ronin Kenshi. But Ronin, so Ronin means master of the samurai, and then Kenshi means swordsman. So it's gonna be my alter ego, is Ronin Kenshi. I love like Japanese animation. That's one of my favorite like pastimes. Akira, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But back to my superpowers, yeah, I can see the future though. That's the one that's most exciting because when I tell people I can see the future, they don't believe me. They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then shit happens that I'll be like, yo, boom, boom, boom. Like, I'll give you an example. I was talking about peoples the other day, and I say the other day, but let's just say 2 months ago, I was talking about peoples. This no bullshit. This is no gap. And I'm a big investor in the stock market. I said, you know what? You should start buying Bitcoin. You know what Bitcoin was at when I said that shit? 15 bands. And the only mistake I made is that I did not follow my own stock advice because I'm heavily invested already. And I did not want to move money out of my current investments because I'm also investing in this music shit. So allocating funds is like, yeah, I mean, very important to an investor like me. I can't just move money just because you got tax consideration, shit like that. So when I'm talking to my people, she got money. And I was like, yo, put this money in Bitcoin. Shorty looked at me stupid. And now that shit's, what's it? It hit 61 this weekend. That's so she would have hit 400% on that investment, even if she put some shit through Square. You know what I'm saying? Superpowers, bro. Like literally within days of me saying that shit started going parabolic. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. I'm being able to. I mean, but even everybody. I mean, shit, especially like us. You should be able to like. It's easy to kind of like spot patterns. I know with me, I can do that shit too, and it helps me with stocks. Like you just kind of get a
but everybody can't do that. You say that shit should be fucking easy. That shit ain't easy at all. If shit was easy, everybody made money. Like, you know what I mean? Because I made a lot of money through the stock market because, like, I'll give you another example. PayPal was at $40 for the longest. I started buying that shit at 40. So this is when I did make money. I started buying that shit at 40. And make no mistake about it, like, I rode the fuck out that shit. It's a 200 something now. I cashed out, you know what I'm saying, before it hit where it's at now. And I kind of wish I stuck around, but yeah, I'm saying, like, got out at a very nice profit and just took that money and put it into something else. But right now it's kind of tripping, but it will turn up. So, yeah, I'm saying, like, yeah, that shit ain't easy. Everybody can't do that, man. You know how many people lose money on the market?
Yeah. Nah, I be like, I'm in there investing too. I be doing the same thing. I be trying to help. I be trying to tell my boys too about shit. Like I knew about that Bitcoin shit. They said it's supposed to go up to 100.
That's how I got out. That's how I got out of doing like selling weed shit. Yeah, you know I mean, like drugs, no cap. Like because you look at my thing was always trying to double my money. That's what my thing is. Like double up, double up, double up, double up, double up. And then you know what I'm saying. Like my homeboy, it was actually a job I went to go work out because I did the corporate thug thing. You know what I'm saying. You going to work. 9 to 5, and then you leave there. You end up, you know what I'm saying, out at the clubs, partying, promoting, doing whatever. In my case, managing artists and shit like that. And it was a dude at my job, an Indian dude named Sandeep. Shout outs to Sandeep. That's my guy. He like no cap. This is the dude that put me on the stocks. He was running the game doing that shit. Like he had bought 2 houses off that shit. I was like, what the fuck? And he was younger than me. I'm like, how the fuck? But he was like, he know DJ Envy. They went to Hampton. Yeah, I think he went to like Hampton when Envy was leaving or something like that. But he was just like, dude, get in the market. I'm like, stop playing. Boom. Rest is history.
What's up? So what you working on right now as far as the music? What's your current projects?
Man, shit. I always keep like a whole bunch of songs in archive plus shit I'm working on. So I just finished a pack called Packlandia. And it's funny you asked that question because this will be the one, like, I don't release albums. I release EPs and singles. The biggest project I released had 8 songs on it. Other than that, I released a 5-song project and a couple of 3-song projects. Packlandia is a 3-song project right now. I might put a 4th one there. But I'm super excited about that bitch. Like, it's kind of funny that Drake just dropped a 3-song project, and I don't mind riding that wave because it's just a nice number of songs. I feel like that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a good maxi single from back in the day. If you feel me on that level, like, I mean, I missed the maxi single. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was a buyer of maxi singles on CD.
You gotta put it. I thought the maxi single had the instrumental on there too. I used to rap
the fucking instrumental, bro. Like that was the best part of the maxi single. Man, stop playing. So, and you know, the funny thing is, I actually thought about doing that, is releasing the little shit with the whole 3. So I got a joint, A23, that's coming out. A23, so here's the deal. I just did a music video for A23 with my team, my soldiers, my lieutenants. So that's gonna drop probably in the next 30 days. I'll probably have that loaded up and ready to go in the next 30 days. And probably behind that, I'm gonna drop Packlandia. Packlandia is gonna be special, man. Like that might be the one for the year. Because the first one I dropped last year, it started the year with the 2020 Vision Pack. That really was a good project for the year. And with very little promotion, it did some decent numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, very proud of the performance of that one. So to see if I can do the same kind of thing in the way I drop it, but see if the numbers can go up a lot higher, knowing it will, because I have a lot bigger fan base now. I'm really excited for the project. And it's a real reflection of where I am as an artist too. It's got some heat on it, for real, for real.
Who doing your artwork right now? I like your artwork.
Me.
You doing all of it?
100%.
Okay. So what's up?
I do all my, so like all my Instagram shit is me. Everything you see on Instagram, that's me. Except, I mean, the editing and the look of it, that's all me. And then, but I do work with one videographer, and that's shout out to my guy, Isaiah, LEDOOX2 on Instagram. If you're looking to book somebody crazy, this dude, he got a crazy vision, and he like the type of dude where just me and him sit there and brainstorm. And so he did the video for Kama Sutra, he did the video for Patrick Ewing, he did the video for Lovesick, and he did the video for and it was one more. Okay. He did a video for Okay. So those are 4 songs I did formal videos for. He did all 4 of those. We just finished 823. That's in edit right now, post-production right now.
Say, isn't that Van Gogh in the back?
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah.
I like art, man. I think that one is really dope to me because it's just like, fuck is he like, you see this image right here, right? Like that, you look at that picture, bro, it's got depth, man. That shit says a lot, man. Like, I fuck with that one heavy. Well, I felt like it's a good piece to have in the studio.
That ain't the real one, is it?
I said I got paper. If I had that much paper, I wouldn't be.
I said, you really got paper, you got that
right,
one.
You got that motherfucker. Oh, look, I'll be over here on the phone with Hov right now.
I say, so what do you say? What are your goals for your career right now?
So it's really kind of twofold. Running the 2-track plan really is just building up me as an artist and building up my business to help other artists. Like I got, I like the term Migos use, young bulls. Got a lot of young bulls on my team that you know what I'm saying, got potential and just need the launch pad. So call me Master P. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to build that organization that can use as a springboard type of thing. So yeah, I'll be rapping a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not like, I'm on the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not 13 years old anymore, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be out here running these streets with these boys. They out here tripping. Not that we weren't, but there's a lot of young bulls that, I'm gonna set the table, get it all good, get the food set, and then pass the buck pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna remain independent, build the business that way. So I got some plans I'm working on with my lawyer. I got a crazy lawyer. Shout out to Stacey Epps. She's one of the heavyweights in the game. Yeah,
make sure you send me the young people too, cause I be interviewing a lot of young cats too.
Oh yeah. Boy, our boy Werk, man, he crazy. He out of Philly, man. That boy is gonna be something special, man. He got a different sound, man. And when I say different, I don't mean like different where you use an auto-tune to pitch your shit up to like screaming high levels, ear bleed levels of pitch, baby boy shit. I'm just talking about he got a different sound because he's got a different type of approach to music, but he's from Jamaica, so it makes sense that he would be able to incorporate some of that into his very, very Philly sounding music. Very, very special artist, I feel like.
Who's your top 5?
I'm glad you asked that question. This is easy. I've been thinking about this one, man. So you actually threw me an alley-oop. People would think we planned this one, but we didn't. It's easy. So I'm gonna give you real talk on this shit, and it's in no particular order. So Jay-Z, Nas, Nicki Minaj, of course, Drake, and then so here's where it gets controversial for me, and here's where I was struggling today. Rick Ross was my first instinctive pick, and I would say Rick is my dark horse favorite for number 5. Not that he's number 5, because as I said, there's no order. Depending upon the day of the week, it might be Nicki number 1, and it might be, you know what I'm saying? I might be listening to Rich Sex by Nicki, like, yo, she's the greatest. And then the next day I'm listening to fucking Hobra, and he's the greatest. But those are the top 5. But here's the thing. It's kind of hard not to put Wayne in your top 5.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, I was gonna say, how
bro, like, listen, hold up. So let me a minute. Give me a minute.
Minaj.
Let me hold up. So here's the thing. I'm not bumping Hobra. And I'm not bumping Nas because Nas put out the greatest hip hop album of all time with Omatic. So fuck everybody. Nas stays up there. He's chiseled in. Hobbies stays up there because the fuck. I always tell people Hobbies up there because he got Beyonce. And people are like, what the fuck does that mean? Well, you know how powerful you have to be to get Beyonce. You know how bossed up you have to be to get Bey. So with that said, Hobbies the man. He's penciled in. I don't want to get into gender issues, but if Nicki was a dude, how do you not put her up in the top 5 with her accolades, bro? Fuck her gender. Her book of business is crazy. And tie that to her talent level. She sings, she rap. She's helped artists who were, you know what? She's as good of a stimulus plan as Drake. A lot of people would talk about Drake being a stimulus plan. Nicki's one hell of a stimulus plan too, right? And Drake is Drake. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. I mean, his body of work is unquestionable. He's never dropped a bad album, ever. Like, Hobie's dropped a couple albums where I was like, okay, Nas dropped a couple albums with that Uchi Wally shit where Hope called him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Drake ain't never dropped below 8 on the Richter scale of good albums. You feel me? Like, and so for me, Drake is just that dude. And then Rick Ross, bro. Let's just talk about the area of this shit that's controversial. Rick versus Wayne. For me, Wayne had a period of time where he was on fire.
What was that?
And he was dropping a lot of music, right? Kind of like 50. The thing is that there is also a period of time where the quality of the music was not quite there. Like, Wayne really started going dumb around Dedication. That's when it was just like he was just on another level, both lyrically. Because before Dedication, no one was really shouting Wayne for his lyrics. Like My DJ, that's when he really started to kind of hit that curve.
I thought he started doing good doing Squad Up.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm not saying, right? So people, but see, that's my point, is that different people, you ask different questions about Wayne, you get this kind of like, no one questions his influence. And this is what I started thinking on why Wayne probably might have to bump Rick. Wayne was way more influential on hip hop, on music. You wouldn't have Thug without Wayne. And without Thug, you wouldn't have another bunch of artists. Like, so with that said, I would never listen. You're talking about two legends, bro. And for me, the difference is this. I can put on Rick Ross's catalog from song 1, hop in my car, drive to California and back. And I don't think I'm gonna skip a song.
Rick Ross got that. He always remind me like of a hip hop Barry White because he got
man. His shit, he don't miss, man. That dude really don't miss, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you, just put his shit on shuffle, and within 3. And then the thing about Rick that's crazy is some of the songs he put out that didn't go on albums. Some of his shit that he did, was it Spiff TV? He got some special music, bro. Like some special shit. Rick hit a whole new level of smooth, man.
Yeah,
like people talk about how him and Drake don't miss when they on songs together. Well, Drake don't miss with nobody, right? Like he go gold. The hair go gold when he on a collab, right? So that don't mean shit. But I will say, ain't too many people can be on a collab with Drake and shine. Him and Future, Rick and Future, right? And so that's another thing. So for me, it's like, depending upon the day of the week, I might bump Wayne into the top 5 instead of Rick. But for the body of work over the time and all that, I got to give it to Rick Ross. And the other thing is, I think he's underrated.
Rick Ross?
Yeah, he's heavily underrated.
Yeah. Oh shit, he don't, like I said, he don't miss with those beats.
He's one of the best selector of tracks.
Like I said,
you talk about artists who know how to pick a beat. That's Rick Ross, man.
That's why I said. That's why he got. Nas kind of got it right this time, but that's why. Yeah, you got Nas on your list. You might well put Rick Ross up there because Rick Ross don't miss with no beats.
Boy,
his beats be sounding, and it's like all his beats sound big too. Like
they do sound big. He make everything sound epic, man. That's my thing. He make everything sound epic, dude. Like Rick Ross is like he lived
Maybach music.
Stop playing. Come on, man. He grew into his persona. Like, it's weird. Like, where's the line between? But I mean, you look at he got the biggest house in Georgia. The fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. So how does it go now when okay, we know what happened. We know he like Freeway Ricky Ross. We know about him.
Right.
We know
Right.
what he did before rap. So does
Right.
that matter, or you just listen to the music? His music dope.
So music is music, man, and you got to be able to separate. Like I guess the best way to juxtapose that question is 50 Cent, right? Like somebody who did the street game, lived the street game. You know what I'm saying? Came up through the street game, and was more reflective of the person he represented through his music than maybe Rick Ross was. But at the same time, does that mean that Rick wasn't doing dirt, wasn't moving? Like it's hard to be like, yo, yeah, I actually did that shit. Here's evidence when you got feds watching. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think people misinterpret that. Like, he could be a correction officer and still be dirty as fuck. Like, I actually don't know too many clean law. I don't know any law officers, fucking period. But really, if I did, I don't know any that's clean, because you think about, like, anytime I've interacted with the police, they were dirty as fuck. Like, the most recent example of that was me getting pulled over for a DUI. And this bitch nigga had, after me getting a lawyer and having to drop some bands to get that case fought, to find out that this nigga had multiple fucked up DUI things where he did the shit. Like, dude, you got a fucking history of doing that. But what the thing is the legal system incentivizes plea deals, right? Like, somebody recently, there was one of these old school niggas was like, you know what? If you taking plea deals and you a co-defendant, you a rat. Because if your nigga ain't trying to take that plea deal, but the law system is set up for that shit all day. I'm in court with a bunch of fucking niggas who got DUIs, and they taking plea after plea after plea, getting jail time and getting their whole shit fucked up. I got a lawyer, and basically had to get, this dude went and got an expert witness, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking into the shit, digging into the shit. This dude went and pulled the badge number for the officer. Come to find out, this dude's basically a dirty fucking cop. Just using that shit to string niggas up, because the legal system is designed to get people running through it, and it's them $400, $500, $600 in fees they charge you.
Yeah, it's like numbers. He's just doing it as a numbers game.
It's a fucking numbers game. So what, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck out of here. The legal system's dirty. Like, people over here railing on Tekashi. The fuck? Like, of course. The fuck? I mean, this dude, look at the fuck. I mean, that's like, this nigga ain't Bobby Shmurda. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it's over for him anyway now, since Bobby Shmurda back. Like, that shit over.
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for Bobby to get back from the top. But I guess the point I'm trying to make about this whole legal system is the cops are dirty. They're dirty from the gate. In my opinion, if you go to be a cop, you're dirty as motherfucker, because there's a commission system tied to you, you know, pulling people over or putting people in jail. They got quota. As soon as you got a quota, then you have to do it. There's an incentive to find it, even if it's not there.
So what you was talking about some of your interests earlier, but what are some of your other interests outside of music?
Shit, man. Video games, like a lightweight interest in that, man. Stocks, bonds, investing. I used to read a lot. Man. Females, just kicking it with my chicks, friends, you know what I'm saying? That's always a lot of fun. COVID's fucked that up though. Like, really, I've really lost touch with a lot of my old road dog female friends. And plus, 2 years away from a female, they tend to get settled down with a nigga. So my mind control working no more like that on the two. So it's been too long. So gotta get a whole new crop of female friends once I start going out more.
You say you get bonds too?
Bond, well, not as much anymore. I used to do some bond trading, but definitely stocks.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't kind of like, it just seems like stock bonds don't be making enough money for me. So I just,
not anymore. Yeah, with interest rates all crazy, like you're really better off to stick with equities right now.
All right. Anybody? What about some future collaborations you see yourself doing?
So any collabs I do will be like, I'm more like a J. Cole. I'm more like a J. Cole. Like, my music is very personal to me. And not to say that I don't want nobody on my track fucking it up, but I don't want nobody on my track fucking it up. So I ain't really looking like, I ain't about to pay nobody right now to do a feature. Like, these tickets are kind of cool. And the ones that are deserved, they deserve. But right now I'm focused on me. I'm focused on me right now. And so really providing myself the platform to grow organically versus trying to get out here and supercharge it by letting somebody else, yeah, I mean,
So
hop on my record and try to blow it up that way. I'm not trying to get the money bag yo cheat code right now. That's a good. I mean, he do his thing when it comes to the features. I'm not trying to get that right now.
So how would you describe your creative process?
Creative.
What do you mean?
Nah, I want to see how long the silence is gonna linger before you got like, yo, fuck, let me elaborate. Nah, it is mostly like, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm a writer. So I'm not one of these dudes who walks in the booth and like with a cup of name brown or white liquor or name your strain of weed. Like, I write before I go in the booth. And I might record the song, you know, using 2 phones 13 times because I'm a bit of a perfectionist that way. But the thing about my writing process looks like freestyle. And then when I'm in the booth, because I know my song, even though I don't memorize none of my music right now, that's gonna be a problem, bro. Like, I got music on music because I write so fast. And so when I go in the booth, I can change shit around in the booth. That's when I freestyle. Like, I might be like, I don't like the way that actually sounds in the booth, because I really don't be booth ready until I'm in the booth, but I be performance ready. Booth ready and performance ready is 2 different levels, right? Booth ready is like, you got to get every note right. Performance ready is, oh, you know the song, you may not have it memorized, but you got that shit down pat in there with the phone, you know what I'm saying? Arm shaking, trying to keep that shit up. That type of thing. But the thing that's ill about my writing process, man, I write ultra fast, man. Like, I can write 6 songs and like that. And the problem I had is that I was outpacing my engineers and producers. Like, I had 2 engineers going at the same time trying to keep up, because I'm in the studio. Like, I knocked out, like, my dude still got 13 songs to mix master. Actually, he just got me back 4, in all fairness. So he got 9 to mix master, and I got 13 songs I've written in the span of like that. I looked today and I was like, shit, I got 13 songs ready to go. And I didn't even remember writing them because I wrote them so fast. But it's writing fast is not synonymous with writing quickly. It's just whatever. I feel like when I hear a certain beat, you don't write music. You're a pipeline. Like, we didn't invent the words. We didn't invent the notes. It's arrogant to think we didn't invent any of what we use when we write a song. You're a vessel. And that's why music is so special. That's why you feel music or you don't. You cannot channel what is not you. Meaning that if you ain't been in these streets hustling, if you ain't rode around with a pound of weed in the trunk, handing shit out hand to hand, if you ain't, you know what I'm saying, been shot at, you know what I'm saying, in the trap, then you can't talk about that shit. Because that shit is not authentic to who you trying to tap into. You can't even open up. That's why I write super fast, because what the fuck I write about is real. Like, it may not be like niggas was in shootouts in the middle of College Park on a daily basis. Nah, fuck I look like. But it's about the niggas I fuck with either was in that space and were, or I have been in that space and done shit that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not shit that I'm proud of. So it's music to me. And that's why I don't fault people like Rick Ross. Getting back to the point, you were like, the fuck am I supposed to do? Write about my whole life? Day to day, I played Apex Legends today and blasted 14, 13-year-olds. The fuck is that? Now, I can write a song about that shit and it'll be very entertaining because I'm gonna write it, but it's gonna be different. I'm gonna use an analogy to sell that story, right? And so ultimately, even Jay-Z did do what he did, but the fuck, you to some extent, you either glorify that lifestyle or you talk about that lifestyle in such a way as to lend a window into what it was. And hopefully, if you're a good artist, I always laugh at people like, if you want to listen to me, there's a way you can listen to real music. Let's just take every felon when they get out of jail and make them an artist. You want to listen to people talk about murdering? Like, that's easy. Them dudes, most of them rapping in jail now. So when they get out, give them more deals. But people don't seem to really want the real shit. And you notice that, right? Like, a lot of the artists who did do that don't blow.
Yeah, they want to be entertained.
Because they're not necessarily the best artists. Right? Like, there's a degree of talent that comes with being real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to play that balance. And so I think that a lot of times people just kind of don't really better understand what it looks like. For me, I try to not over glorify anything that I write about, first of all. like I use a lot of analogies, double entendres. Man, my music is like crazy deep, but it's so surface level. If you miss it, you miss it. And that's one of the things that I'll be doing more of, is really trying to talk through my music and doing a lot of shows and really talking through what the fuck is really being said. Because the goal is not just to glorify a lifestyle of strip clubs, trapping, and fucking females over, or getting fucked over by females, or, you know what I'm saying, dealing with assholes and haters and shit and all that comes with that, but more so to talk about what brings us together, like what makes us the same. And how I got a song called Eight Niggas, and it's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you hear it, all you're gonna hear is 8 niggas walking in, 7 niggas running in, 6 niggas got shot, 5 niggas dead in there, 3 niggas on the ground, 3 niggas got shot, 1 nigga heard the rap. Right? You're gonna hear that and be like, oh my God. But if you actually listen to the song, it's literally describing just about every club. Like, it's describing what happened in that Florida club when shots just ring out, right? And real shit. I don't have to talk about a real situation to take every situation that's encompassed in that scenario and try to distill it down into a song. It really drives a message home that a lot of times we watch the news and we only hear guys got shot up in the club, or guy walked in the club and shot it up, but don't understand what happened on the other side. Like, what was the reason? What was the motivation? The news does a good job of always glorifying the bad shit, but they do a terrible job of actually getting to the reasons why people are doing what they're doing. And social media does the exact same thing, even worse. And so I'm not trying to be part of that. I'm not trying to get fallen into that trap. And so my music, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, really write deeply in such a way as to allow people to actually understand. Because everyone wants to talk about guns. Everyone wants to talk about all that shit. That shit ain't fun. That shit is like Hobbies said. No one out here thugging because that shit is fun. Duh. Hope ain't thugging no more. If thugging was cool, Hope would still be thugging. Right?
Yeah. So what advice do you give to a new artist?
Shut the fuck up and write, bro, and put out music. Just shut up, write, put out music. Shut up, write, put out music. Like, the more at bats you get, the more chance you gonna have of being successful. Like, niggas doing too much other shit. Like, just shut the fuck up, write, and do music. If you want to be on Instagram all day, be on Instagram all day. Like, you can either be a Instagram personality and YouTube personality and flip that into music, or you can be a musician and flip that into learning how to do social. But one way or another, you kind of need to pick your poison and run with that. Like, I just think that, you know, people are confusing being an artist with being a social media star. Everybody ain't DDG. Everybody ain't Ron Sulo. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes are different. They really were good at social and really are talented artists. Yeah, I mean, and I see a lot of people get frustrated because they social sucks, but their music is really good.
Yeah, I know for some people, man, it's like, shit, you go on their page and you don't even find the music. They say they're
the fuck are you even doing this shit? Now, let me tell you something.
Like, you can't
people don't understand about
social.
People got social fucked up because, first of all, take Puffy, right? Puffy got 9 million followers, give or take. But Puffy will do a post and get 200 and something thousand views. Well, when you look at the ratio of views to followers, that's like somebody with 9,000 followers doing a post and get like 2 views or 20 views on that shit. Yeah. Like, the percentage, the Instagram is really throttling back on people's views.
Right.
And likes. No matter how you like it, they are holding back. So judging yourself through social media is stupid. Just put out music. The only platform you should give a fuck about really is Spotify and maybe YouTube for a lesser extent.
Especially now, we were talking about that today. The only way Spotify, what is it, Instagram? You gotta pay for promotion. Shit, that's the only way.
That's the only way they're gonna let you be. And I've done Instagram promotion. And ultimately, here's the thing you have to understand about that is that the call to action is gonna send them back to Spotify. Instagram doesn't necessarily like Spotify. There's that. And I can tell you that there was a clear line of difference, in my opinion, in quality of posts where I didn't have a call to action that sent people to Spotify versus ones where I kept them on an Instagram platform, because Instagram wants to keep its traffic on site. Same thing Spotify says. Don't post in your bio anything that's sending you off our platform. YouTube too. They don't want you sending your traffic to the other big 3, right? So Facebook doesn't want you dealing with Instagram, or excuse me, doesn't want you dealing with YouTube. YouTube doesn't want you dealing with Apple. Like, it's real. Like, and so I guess I say that to say that a lot of artists are trying to use social to move their music, and it kind of seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, I mean, so what do you say? Like, I still kind of think YouTube is the way to go. Where you say artists, like, they had to pick one platform to really be on, what platform would that be for you first?
Well, you can promote on Spotify now, so I would say Spotify.
Mm.
Why? You know, because here's the thing. From a marketing and promotion perspective, to me, like the most important thing to me in life is marketing. Period. I don't give a fuck what it is. Like the greatest people in the world are good marketers. So for all that people say about Tekashi, he's an excellent marketer, right? For all people say about Cardi B, she's an excellent marketer, right? And so for people that are able to get eyeballs, then that is the talent and that is the skill set. And so for me, that is the skill set that people need to focus on. And just I define where it is you're trying to get your eyeballs. You look at Russ, I think it was SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not sure if I'm answering your question fully. I apologize. I kind of meandered there, but SoundCloud, and then you got other artists who chose different platforms to make their move. But if you look at it, it's funny, SoundCloud, it is a music platform. And if you're a musician, it makes sense to, because again, what happens is anytime you move customers from one platform to another, even if they're playing fair and allowing you to transport 100% of your audience, you and I both know that you lose about 80% of your audience trying to
everybody on the same thing. Yeah.
Right. Well, there's logging in, not having passwords, hating the fact that you would just transport it off of Instagram and you want to keep scrolling on Instagram. Yeah. So to your point, if a person doesn't have their music on Instagram, then that's kind of dumb, because a person who is incentivized to go from Instagram to Spotify isn't even going to do that. But my thing is, you're not going to get 100% of the people on Instagram to go to Spotify. So why focus on Instagram if your goals are to have your music heard? Go to the platform of choice. And that runs counterintuitive to what a lot of these like so-called music gurus out here pitching with their bullshit, but they're not putting out music, so they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
I'm saying, why you say Spotify over the other ones though? I know you got Apple.
Because Spotify just has, like you said today, what was the platform that I showed up in your playlist?
Spotify.
Say less.
All right. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I'm just asking for the listeners too, but yeah, that's the one. I like Spotify personally myself. That's the one I use. So.
Yeah.
I try to use Apple. I like Apple a little bit because the reason I like Apple, because it shows you what your friends are listening to. So I don't think Spotify does that, but I like that one. But I didn't really like the title. I know Jay-Z sold it, but I didn't like that one like that. I didn't use that one.
Title was the biggest thing with Title is that they just pay more for streams. The problem with Title is that they didn't have a back end. So like you have Apple for artists and Spotify for artists, and even like Pandora has it for artists. Actually, Amazon has it for artists. SoundCloud merged their for artists platform back into Pandora. They used to have a separate platform. But the beautiful thing about all these for artists platforms is that even Deezer, I think, has a back office bandstand or some shit. And these back office programs, that's where your analytics live. That's where all your data lives. And so it allows you as an artist, like I know I can tell you where my records are most popular down to the city. I can tell you like extreme details on, like, for me to be setting up shows, it's gonna be super easy, right? Because not only do I use it for the artist platforms, but I use many other different analytics platforms. I'm paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on an annual basis just for analytics. And I know it's over thousands because I got chart metrics, and that's $1,400 a year alone. So that information that you score from those different platforms is very powerful. And I would say that those platforms like Tidal that don't have that information don't really help you as an artist. You're shooting in the dark, and you just really then just are posting to Tidal because it's there. Although again, to Jay-Z's credit and to Tidal's credit, they're the most artist-friendly platform from a getting paid perspective. So if you do get your music on Tidal, and they did have playlists and different things, for sure, if you did get your shit spending heavy on Tidal, you're gonna make more money there than you're gonna make on Apple and Spotify combined.
You heard about Nita Baker?
Yeah, I did. I read about that today. In fact, I thought that was very interesting. You know, that's the same bullshit battle that Prince and them gonna fight, but she's gonna win because ultimately the seems to me the law is on her side. If she said that 20 years, having your record be
30.
Was it 30?
Yeah, but she outlived it anyway.
Yeah, she outlived all of that shit. So now they still gonna make a fight for it, like she said. Like they just ain't gonna give you. Anita Baker's masters are worth what? Because here's the thing, right? Look at, like, for example, Wayne. How much did he sell his masters for? 300. Look at Buffett. Jimmy Buffett, was it? Sold his masters for like an undisclosed sum, maybe 500. Anita Baker's masters got to be worth on the open market 200. She got a lot of music.
Yeah.
And so even if it's not two, it's one. Even if it's not two, it's one. All right, let's go half of that. So she's fighting tooth and nail. She told people, everyone, don't even listen to my shit, stream my shit right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna listen to it. I just hope everything's, you know.
I wasn't really listening to Anita Baker anyway, so I was like, I'm right there with you, sis. I got you, baby.
Nah, I hope nothing happens.
I mean, I listen to her music from the standpoint if it plays, but I'm just saying I don't got a playlist with Anita Baker on it. I love her music though. I just don't listen to that. I don't listen to R&B like that anymore. But I mean, she's one of the greatest R&B artists of all time. Now, if you're gonna play some R&B, might as well be Anita Baker. Like if you're talking about singing, like yeah, all day. I've sampled Anita Baker. What the fuck? So
I'll say, what would you like to say to your fans and supporters?
Man, listen, the best is yet to come musically. Like it's really going up. Where like we got a ton of good shit in the pipeline from a music perspective. Like I said, I got Packlandia, but that's light work. Got a project with a dude who's got a couple of plaques, platinum plaques, as well as a couple gold plaques. That's gonna be a dope project. That's a 10-song project. Got the videos dropping, got merch coming soon. So shit, man, I'm really just getting started. This ain't even like for real, I ain't even really turned up yet. I'm not, definitely haven't turned up yet. So I would just say grab some popcorn, you know what I'm saying, lock in and enjoy the ride because it's gonna be a lot of fun. For real.
All right, man.
I got some music that's gonna challenge the convention, and I mean it. Like I got some shit that's out shit. Dope shit.
All right. Well, I want to say thanks for coming through politicking with me.
All day, sir.
Yeah, we gotta stay in touch, man. I'm gonna keep in touch, man. I got another show I'll be doing too.
Yeah, let's do it, man. All day, bro. I'm all about that talking shit.
All right, man. So what's your social media and everything?
Yeah, so you can catch me on Instagram at simply_alpha. That's SIMPLY_alpha ALPHA. I had a TikTok with the same name. I was up to 100,000 something. They perma-banned me because of my content and shit. Because I had a lot of deep relationship content, and it was very controversial. I was real talk with it, and they perma-banned me on TikTok. So for all of my followers who wonder what happened there, that's what happened. I'm sorry. I'll talk more about that because I got a lot going on with TikTok on another angle. So that's good there.
What would you say? Give an example of something you were saying that got you banned.
So I had shit like, I had this one post that was like women's. So the thing with TikTok is they will ban you if you have X amount of posts that are taken down. And what happened was my content was definitely R-rated plus X-rated to the degree that I talked about relationships. And like I had like one of the posts I had was that situation where the dude was telling the woman that she's not attractive. Like, and I did a duet on that, and they flagged that one. That was light work. I had one post that was crazy, and it went viral, and they pulled it down. It was I told a story about this woman who had a one-night stand, and then the dude that she had a one-night stand with had like, you know what I'm saying, came on her, and then she went to the fucking hospital, and the hospital was like, what a dude, because she had a rash, and the hospital was like, yo, the dude you had sex with either sleeps with animals or corpses. And then she looked him up, and it turned out he worked in a morgue. And I told that story on TikTok, you know what I'm saying, told this shit, and the shit went viral. Women were like going crazy, like, oh my God, like I'm never one night standing again, and all this crazy shit.
Real?
It was, like dope as fuck. She was going nuts.
Is that
even
real?
Fucking Twitter, like people were hitting me on Twitter, like people from back in the day were like, yo, why am I seeing your ass on motherfucking my feed on Twitter for this? And then fucking TikTok bitch asses take that shit down. Like I'm never gonna forgive them for that. They did that shit on a bunch of my posts though. So after that, I just started doubling it down and went double X-rated on my shit because I was like, fuck them. Like honestly, man, don't even get me started, bro, because I'm trying to keep them on my good side.
Was it a real story you was talking about?
Yeah, it's a real story. I want to reach that shit and everything. It's a story I heard back in the day. I one day was just sitting on the couch bored, and I was like, let me just tell the story because it was like, you know what I'm saying? I just felt like doing it. But a lot of my content, like, was really honestly, bro, like I had people hit me on Instagram, dudes hit me on Instagram, like, bro, like you really give good advice on relationships. Because my thing was this, my content, if to be real, the best way to describe my content was this about relationships. It basically held a microscope to women's bullshit. It wasn't to say women are bad, because I love women. Women are God's greatest creation. It was to say, no, y'all are not fucking perfect. Which is funny, because my girl right now is tripping and I'm about to dump this dummy because she's got that same perfect concept. Like, women seem to think they're perfect a lot. And I'm a man, and I happily accept my flaws. Happily. Like, I'm fucking flawed as shit. Like, let's be flawed together. We ain't got to be trying to be perfect together because that's just unreal. And I think that a lot of times, I think in today's society, and I get it, women have been really, really held down. Like, I get it. But I feel like there's a lot of energy towards really trying to make it seem like women can do no wrong now. And that's just fucking bullshit. And so for me, on my TikTok, I spoke about it. But here's my thing. Women were the ones who were really in my comments with the most positive reinforcement, not men. Men would too, but there's so many fucking simps out here sucking up the women on some pussy shit that they'll be more inclined to come in my shit on some, excuse my language, some weirdo shit versus some a woman coming in there and being like, nah, you right. Like, bitches do be running their mouth too much. Like, or women do. Or like, here's my thing. Women really, here's my biggest thing. And this is probably what really got me banned. Women take advantage of men a lot. Like, and I get it because men are simps. And in 2020, I feel like women just hit a whole new stride. Like, they really, like, I really started seeing women like, whoa, women are really going hard. Like, in the paint. Like, you got, you know, and that's why everyone kind of went crazy with WAP. But I'm like, I get it, because women out here like, fuck you. And they're OnlyFans. Like, really, you see this whole thing where women have just taken their Suki. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sukiana the GOAT, I think is just like indicative of what I'm talking about. Like, women have taken their femininity and turned it into like masculinity.
Yeah.
Like, really, like, and what that does is it challenges the hierarchy of relationships, because men ain't going, like, so now you got dudes out here that's like, you ain't coming around my clique.
So you got a daughter?
I have a what? Daughter?
You have a daughter?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No. I got no kids. No, man. Don't, whoa. I ain't trying to have no kids yet, big fella.
Yeah, I was saying, shit, how you think it's
because if I had kids right now, I'd be paying child support. That's just like, you feel me? Like, my shit ain't geared towards my life ain't even set up like that. Like, I told you I'm about to break up with my girl now just so I can have some more space, more time to fuck with this music shit. I got it in my lyrics. I said it. What I said, I'll get married right after I buy the jet or some shit.
All right, man. You got any shout outs?
Yo, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Great interview. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the culture. Shout out to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to independent artists, because I feel like it just takes a lot to be out here independent. You got to be part psychologist, part therapist. You got to be in the mirror talking to yourself crazy. You got to be in the mirror telling yourself you can do it. You got to be writing music, making your own decisions, marketing, uploading shit, doing reports, filling out documents that you never thought you'd be doing. Like, shout out to the indie artists, man, especially ones getting money. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of indie artists out here getting money. Shout out to my team. I got a fuck ton of producers. I can't even begin to list them out, all of them. My bad. Yeah, my phone just did the battery thing. Shout out to Coffee Beat, shout out to A-Track, shout out to Bar on the Beat, shout out to Nasulo, shout out to my guy Gaz. I'm going to be signing him to a production deal here soon. Shout out to my DJ Dun the Don. Shout out to my lieutenants, Rojo. Shout out to my lawyer, Stacey Epps, man. My team is getting bigger and bigger because, you know what I'm saying, we're doing something big. Shout out to my personal business manager, Winston Wilson, and shout out to my personal assistant. Yeah, that's it, man. I think I got most people, got more producers on the list, but like I said, if I ain't name you, it's because, I ain't put your music out yet.
All right, so we out, y'all. Make sure y'all check out rappertshirts.com.